We're going to have ball kids. If you guys know that, they're going to be set up. We've got a full crew of ground officials. They'll be making the out-and-in call. You don't have to worry about it. If you think a shot is out, you play it as though it's good. You should be here for what you're in. Now, if it's obvious and I can see it, I'll jump on it. I'm going to rely on my line speed.
You're just not sure about anything, just look to them.
Congratulations. It's an honor for me.
That's it?
This is heads. This is tails.
This is the championship.
Tails it is.
I'll take this side.
Take that side. Start with the shoot. So start. Okay. Hold it, guys. Bring that closer. I'm standing there for a photo, and that blew up my nose. All right, you're serving? Okay.
Hey, Sophie, wait until you get there and stop, and then turn and roll. Don't roll it while you're running. They've got balls. Come on over.
All right, 3 minutes, gentlemen. 3 minutes. 2 minutes, gentlemen, 2 minutes. One minute, gentlemen, 1 minute. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the boys' final. Play the best of 3 tie-break sets, regular scoring. Right of the chair from Austin, Texas, Mason Vaughn. Left of the chair from Houston, Texas, Sebastian Godoy.
Good morning, everyone. This
Vaughn
is it.
won the toss and will receive.
I'm Tony Whitehurst joining you live once again from the Westgate Tennis Center. It's Boys 14's Singles Finals Day. We have 2 terrific players fighting it out for the gold ball. To the far court is Sebastian Godoy. He's from Houston, Texas. And on this side of the court is Mason Vaughn from Austin, Texas. So 2 Texas gentlemen will be fighting it out on the clay of the Westgate Tennis Center. It's been a great week. It's day 8.
Time.
It's the final day. I'm expecting a really good match. Some really good players. This boys 14's Level 1 USTA National Clay Court Championships is a huge endeavor. It's one of the biggies. And these 2 gentlemen have fought their way to the last 2. What a feat. They've displayed some tremendous tennis this week and have done a terrific job to get where they are. We have a full crew of tennis referees in the blue shirts, and we have some guest ball girls who are going to help retrieve the balls for the players and to keep us going. Right now, on the far court, Sebastian Godoy is going to start us off.
Sebastian Godoy to serve.
Here we go.
Ready? Play.
Forehand by Vaughn, floats wide.
15 love.
15 love. And the one thing that jumps out at me right away is these 2 gentlemen, these 2 warriors, they have great forehands. That means we're going to have a lot of big shots today. That's the way you want the finals to end. Having them to show what they got. 15 love. Backhand return by
30 love.
Vaughn, floats wide. 30 love. Now, if you're Godoy, you want to come out and establish yourself. You want to get that first game to help you loosen up and immediately put some pressure on your opponent. 30 love. Second serve. Second serve is wide.
30-15.
Double fault. 30-15. Now this week we've had 60 of the top 100 nationally ranked players here fighting it out on the clay of the Westgate Tennis Center. That's high level. 30-15 for Godoy. Backhand by Godoy floats
30
wide.
all.
We're back to 30 all. Players have come from 33 of the United States. We've had 193 players in the tournament. It's been some terrific action. Doubles and singles. Now, if you're Mason Vaughn, you want to get a break. You want to take the momentum away from Godoy right out of the chute. 30 all. Second serve. Second serve is deep.
30-40.
Double fault. Break point for Godoy. Rick Bewley is in the chair. He's the head chair umpire for this match. Rick does a lot of pro events. Very experienced gentleman. He can handle anything that comes up. Break point. Big overhead by Vaughn. He gets the break.
Vaughn. First game.
Terrific play from the man from Austin, Texas. He was down love 30, rallied. He gets the break.
Yeah, that'd be good.
He gets the first game of the first set.
Good way to do it.
And if you're Vaughn, that's exactly what you want to happen. You want to come out and snatch the momentum of the match on the first game, if at all possible. He's up a break. That should give him some momentum. Now he wants to build on that. There's an old saying in tennis that says, you haven't broken until you held the following game. So we'll see if Vaughn can hold his serve to run his total up to 2-0 here in the first set. Here we go. Forehand down the line by Vaughn floats wide.
Love 15.
Love 15. Now, if you're Godoy, you want to focus right here and snatch that momentum back. You want to even things up. Love 15. Second serve. Double fault.
Love 30.
Love 30. Now, if you're Godoy, you never want to lose that momentum and lose your serve the first game of the match. But if you're going to, the first game of the match, if you lose it, you have more games to play to make up for it. And he's trying to do that right now. He's up love 30. Vaughn serving. Ball is called out.
Love 40.
Love 40. Great opportunity for Godoy to change that momentum, to get that break right back. We're in the second game of the first set. The boys' 14s singles final. Second serve, love 40. Triple break point. Forehand by Godoy sails over the baseline.
15-40.
$15.40, 2 break points. Forehand by Godoy sails over the baseline.
30-40.
Still has a break point to even this first set at 1-all. His serve was broken out of the shoot out of the beginning of the match, and he's now trying to recapture that momentum. He wants to get a quick break back if he can. He's 1 point away. 30-40. Mason Vaughn is serving. Serve is just over the service line, second serve. Godoy is trying to step inside of the baseline to take the ball on the rise and put pressure on Vaughn. Second serve. And sometimes that can be an intimidation factor, and I think it was on that particular play. Vaughn double faults. Is broken. We're back to 1-all here in the first set. Now Sebastian Godoy wants to reset. Wants to make sure this time out on his service game that he gets some first serves in. Wants to reestablish some momentum now that he's broken back against Mason Vaughn. 1-all. Sweet drop shot from the racket of Vaughn.
About 15.
Godoy's shot clipped the tape and sat up, which gave Vaughn the opportunity he was looking for to hit a drop shot. Love 15. Big cross-court forehand by Godoy.
15-all.
That's a key shot for him. If you leave that ball in the middle of the court sitting up, he will rip it. 15-all. On his way to the finals. He's done that time after time. I've had him here on the center court. Let first serve.
Let first service.
Second serve. Forehand by Vaughn floats over the baseline.
30-15.
30-15 for Godoy. And this is a very prestigious tournament. You get a lot of points, of course, which helps you to climb up on the national ranking. You get the gold ball if you win, the silver if you're in second place. And eyes of college coaches, Division One, they're on you as you move up the chart. 30-15 for Godoy. Backhand by Vaughn floats over the baseline again. 2 game points for Godoy out of Houston, Texas. I've had a chance to talk to his parents all week. Second serve. First service deep. Big cross-court forehand by Sebastian Godoy. He gets the game. He edges ahead 2 games to 1 here in the first set. This is our 8th and final day of this wonderful tournament here at the Westgate Tennis Center. I'd like to thank Hubie Casey and his terrific staff. He has a NASCAR court maintenance crew that's as good as anyone I've seen anywhere. Had an opportunity to talk to a lot of parents and some really good players. They're growing as players as well as young men. That's always great to see. You've got 15 officials in those blue shirts that you see that have really made a difference in this tournament. You can't do it without them. But we would also like to thank you, the viewing audience, who've stuck with us since last Sunday. We've gotten a lot of compliments about what we're doing here, and people from all over the United States have been watching the broadcast, but not just in the United States. We've had folks in Nicaragua and also Spain. They're related to some of these players, and they have been watching this great tournament as well. So, hey, we're not just national, we're global. All right, Mason Vaughn is trying to regain some momentum. He's down 1-2 on serve. Here we go. Inside out forehand by Vaughn floats wide.
Now 15.
I think right now Vaughn has to focus on bringing the balls in from the sidelines. He's missing too many. Some of that is probably nerves, which means you want to go high, a little more high percentage, put more spin on the ball to keep it in. Too many unforced errors.
First service.
It's down love 15. Backhand down the line by Vaughn once again is out. He's down love 30. And the key for him is to aim about a foot inside the baseline as well as the sideline to make sure he connects with the ball and keeps them in. Right now he has way too many unforced errors. Love 30. Seems to me like, he's a little nervous, which I'm sure both of them are. How can you not be on an occasion like this here? But you have to work through your nerves, and you have to move your feet and step it up. Another error by Vaughn. Backhand floats over the baseline. Triple break point again for Sebastian Godoy. Great opportunity to forge ahead. And grab hold of the set. Love 40.
Not up.
Great play by Vaughn. I like the fact that he challenged himself, went down the line with an approach, then came into the net. Hit a really nice drop volley out of the reach of Godoy. He's trying to climb back into this first set. Forehand by Godoy goes wide.
30-40.
Second serve. Still one more break point for Godoy to step ahead. Oh, sweet shot by Vaughn. Almost a even better one by Godoy. His half volley at the net catches the top of the net. But back to deuce. This is a huge game in my opinion. The last couple of points, Mason Vaughn has moved his feet a lot more, brought more energy to the court. He's back to deuce. Down the line, down the middle of the court ball by Godoy. Just barely goes over the baseline. Gain point for Vaughn. This would be huge. He trailed triple break point earlier in this game, the second service game of the match. Beautiful overhead by Vaughn. He gets the game.
Game, Vaughn.
Huge.
2 games all, first set.
We're tied at 2-all in the first set. That's one you want to mark on the paper to make sure that's not a difference maker. When you're down triple break point, you want to capitalize. Godoy did not. Vaughn has to feel relief. He was looking at a 3-1 deficit. Now he's back to 2-all. Huge difference. Godoy to serve. Big forehand down the middle by Vaughn.
15.
An error by Godoy over the baseline. That ball landed just on the baseline. Too much for Godoy to handle. Love 15. Second serve. Double fault by Godoy. Love 30. Great opportunity for Vaughn to bring himself within a break if he can convert. Well, the official called it in. Vaughn thinks it was out. I'm not sure that's where the official thinks the ball hit. He says it was in. 15:30. Call is, well, the official in the chair, Rick Bewley, he didn't overrule the call. He stuck with the call of the line official. Vaughn pointed to a mark that was outside of where they said it hit. Point to Godoy. 15:30. Backhand by Vaughn floats over the baseline.
30 all.
30 all.
Go, Bob.
Oh, sweet drop shot by Godoy.
40, 30.
He attempted to play inside of the baseline, which is really where you're supposed to do it. Get you closer to the net, and your opponent has less time to react. .40-30. Forehand by Godoy floats over the baseline.
Deuce.
We're back to deuce. Both of these players have big forehands, rather, which means their backhands may determine who wins this match. Because if the two strengths cancel each other out or almost cancel each other out, you have to look for the next shot that could make the big difference. Deuce. Longest rally of the day is called deep by the baseline official. Rick Bewley is getting out of the chair to check it. Mason Vaughn wants him to take a second look. Ball is called out. Game point for Godoy.
Advantage, Godoy.
Backhand by Godoy is called out. Rick Bewley is a busy man. He's down again. Checking the mark made by the down the line official. Call is overruled.
Correction, ball was good.
Ball is now being called good.
Replay point.
Replaying the point. Game point. Oh, wow. Great play. Great play.
James Godoy.
Drop shot by Vaughn brings in Godoy. Hits a volley that Vaughn could get to, but could not get the ball down the line. Game for Godoy. He forges ahead 3-2 in the first set. More when we come back.
Actually, that's backwards. Yeah, not bad. I had to think about that as well. Time?
Welcome back to the Westgate Tennis Center. I'm your host, Tony Whitehurst, coming to you live from the USTA Boys 14s Level 1 National Clay Court Championships. We're in Dothan, Alabama, as we have been for 8 days. It's the boys' final. Two great warriors.
Go ahead.
Sebastian Godoy from Houston. He's in the blue hat and in the near court. He's up 3-2 in the first set. We're on serve. He's from Houston, playing against another Texan, Mason Vaughn from Austin, Texas. Play is heating up. After the first couple of games, when players were feeling each other out, they really started to pick up the momentum. We've had longer rallies, bigger forehands, better footwork, better points. Vaughn is trying to even the setup at 3-all. He's serving. Second serve. Oh, big forehand down the line and an even better shot by Vaughn, a running cross-court forehand for a winner. Beautiful shot. Godoy made a great play, hit a beautiful backhand down the line, and Vaughn hit a better shot. Cross-court, he's up 15-love. Backhand by Godoy floats wide.
30 love.
30 love for Vaughn. Beautiful cross-court forehand by Godoy. Draws the error from Vaughn. Vaughn is up 30-15. Both of these players have huge forehands. Makes for some exciting shots, sometimes unexpected shots. But great play. 30-15.
Let. First service.
Let serve. Let's do it again. Forehand by Godoy
15.
catches the net. 2 game points for Vaughn to try and even things up here in the first set. Double fault.
40-30.
Now, if you're Vaughn, you want to cut down on the double faults. The serve is probably, of all the attributes that he has in his game, is probably the weakest part of his game. So you don't want to be giving away points if you don't have to. Game point. Beautiful inside-out forehand by Vaughn for the point, for the win, for the game. We're back at 3-all here in the first set. It's the USTA Boys 14s Level 1 National Clay Court Championships. We've been live all week in Dothan, Alabama. We're at the Westgate Tennis Center. Boys Final. Sebastian Godoy on this end of the court in the blue hat. It's up against Mason Vaughn. Both are from Texas. 3-all. Big serve out wide by Godoy draws a error from Vaughn. Unreturnable. 15 love. Let first serve. Let's do it again. $15 love. Second serve. Nice forehand down the line on the approach shot by Godoy for the winner. 30 love in the 7th game of the first set. We're at 3-all. It's the finals. Sebastian Godoy, who is serving, is up against Mason Vaughn. They're playing for the gold ball, among other things. Second serve. Backhand return by Vaughn floats wide.
40 love.
Triple game point for Godoy would put him ahead 4-3 here in the first set. We're on serve. So far, it's been a pretty even matchup. Both players are now settling in, making fewer errors than they did the first couple of games. Triple game point for Godoy. Forehand into the net by Godoy. Feet were not quite set on that one. Anytime you're going down the line, that's the higher part of the net, so you have to lift that ball over the net. But your feet also have to be set to do just that. Still 2 break points for the game and an opportunity to go up 4-3 here in the first set. Backhand into the net by Godoy. Still has 1 game point remaining. Forehand by Godoy, floats wide.
Goose.
Really good return by Vaughn. Forced Godoy to hit off of his back foot. His inside out forehand went wide of the line. All of a sudden, we're back to deuce. After being up triple game point. Service wide.
Second serve.
Cross court attempt by Godoy catches the net.
Vaughn.
Break point for Vaughn. This would be huge. He trailed. Triple game point for his opponent, Sebastian Godoy. Now he's looking at a break point and possibly going up 4-3 with the break, which could be a huge difference in this first set. Break point.
Fault. Fault.
The
Second
ball
serve.
is being called a fault. Second serve. Looked just wide. Break point for Vaughn. We're at 3-all. Ball by Vaughn is over the baseline. We're back to deuce. Big point. Great opportunity for Vaughn to get a break and go ahead and serve it 4-3. We're back to deuce. I think the official initially called it wide, then in.
You have the mark? You call it wide? Okay.
Okay, the ball is called wide. Second serve. Deuce game. Forehand by Godoy floats wide. Cross court.
Advantage, Vaughn.
Another break point opportunity for Vaughn. Could go up 4-3 if he can convert. Big game. It's the seventh game of the set, which many people say is a crucial game. To me, anytime you get a break, it's a crucial game. Break point for Vaughn. Second serve. Backhand over the baseline by Godoy. Goes deep game to Vaughn. He gets the break. Mason Vaughn from Austin, Texas is now up 4-3 in the first set. We'll see if he can extend that lead when we come back.
Okay. Yeah. When in doubt, safe it, which is what you did. I would have come out and looked at the mark, but he gave it up. You did great. That's exactly what you do. That's exactly what you do. Time?
Back at the Westgate Tennis Center, I'm your host, Tony Whitehurst, live from Dothan, Alabama. It's the USTA Boys 14s, Level 1 National Clay Court Championships. We've had 60 of the top 100 nationally ranked players fighting it out on clay all week here at the Westgate Tennis Center from 33 states, 193 players in the tournament. Huge turnaround last game. Mason Vaughn was down 3 game points for his opponent, but he rallied, got the break. He's now up 4-3. First set. Beautiful down the line forehand by Godoy. Vaughn was in a very positive position, but the whip of the forehand got the ball at his feet, too much for him to handle. Love 15. Now, if you're Sebastian Godoy, you really want to get that break back right here, right now. You don't want Vaughn coming within 1 game of the first set. Forehand over the baseline by Vaughn.
30.
gives Godoy a low 30 lead. He'd love nothing better than breaking right back after losing his last game, which was a service game. He's up 30 love here. Vaughn is up a break 4-3. $30 love. Beautiful cross-court forehand by Vaughn.
15-30.
15-30. Godoy is up in this game. Second serve. Forehand by Vaughn floats wide.
15-40.
Was not set when he made contact. He paid for it. 2 break points for Sebastian Godoy. He could tie this back up in the first set. 4-3. Vaughn is serving, but he has 2 break points against him. Here we go. Beautiful down the line shot by Vaughn.
30-40.
An inside in ball. He looked like he was going to go inside out cross court, but he pulled it down the line. Too much for Godoy to handle. But Godoy is still up a break point. Mason Vaughn is serving. 4-3 his advantage. Ed out. Big forehand down the line once again, inside in by Vaughn. Godoy can't reply. We're back to deuce. Vaughn is 2 points away from forging out ahead to a 5-3 lead. That would be key because he was down in this game as well, love 30. Deuce game. Forehand down the line by Godoy. He's frustrated.
Advantage, Vaughn.
He was up 30 love in this game, and now his opponent, Mason Vaughn, who's already up a break at 4-3, is looking to push that lead ahead to 5-3 if he can convert this next game point. Ed in. Another big forehand down the line by Vaughn. He gets the point and the game.
Vaughn leads 5-3.
Has stretched his lead to 5-3 here in the first set.
Let's go, Seb. Right here, man.
Great job of recovering from love 30. Hung in there. Was able to step inside the baseline and control play that last game after being down love 30. He used his big inside in forehand to tie the game back up and eventually win it. Now Godoy is serving to stay in the first set. He's down 3-5.
Let or service.
Second serve. Tremendous down the line reply by Vaughn on the return. A clean winner. Love 15. He's feeling it a little bit right now. He's dug himself out of several holes in this first set, being down triple break point in one of his service games. He climbed back in it, won that game, and momentum seems to be on his side. Godoy is serving at love 15. Big serve down the middle by Godoy. Slice forehand by Vaughn falls short. 15 all. And obviously, if you're Sebastian Godoy, you want to hold here and ask the question of Mason Vaughn, can you serve it out? You want to put the pressure on him to have to close it out instead of you giving it to him here, then having Vaughn start off serving this second set. 15 all. Forehand cross court by Vaughn floats wide. 30-15 for Godoy. Huge forehand by Vaughn on the return. We're back even 30 all. Sneaky down the line play there. Caught Godoy off guard. Obviously was not expecting that deep of a return on his serve. 30 all. Mason Vaughn is 2 points away from the first set. Forehand is pulled wide at the net by Godoy. Set point for Mason Vaughn. He's really played well the second half of this first set. At the beginning of the match, I thought that he was a little nervous. Feet were not moving. Didn't have the energy. Then about midway, he started to pick it up. And he's a point away right now. Break point from the first set. A little frustration coming from Godoy. Two-handed backhand by Godoy floats wide. Game in first set to Vaughn. 6-3. He did a great job of coming back the second half of the set. He's got the first set in his pocket. We'll see what happens in the next set when we come back. Oh no, man! I'm broadcasting a big juniors tournament in. No, you're good. Oh man, this last day. I've been here for 8 days, brother. But I'm checking the score. I'm checking that score, dog. I'm checking this. Oh wow. Okay. Well, I got my phone here, so I keep checking the score. So, hey, I'm all about alcohols, brother. How you doing, man? Hey, I think the God has switched. Just nobody told Jocko. I think that's what it is, brother. Yes, sir. It's in the closet, about to come out. I'm telling you now, man. You doing okay, man?
Time?
All right, man. Well, listen, let me catch up with you later. I got to get back to my broadcast. Appreciate you, man. We're back here at the Westgate Tennis Center. I'm your host, Tony Whitehurst. Boys Finals Day. In the first set, Mason Vaughn played really well the second half of the first set. He won the first set 6-3.
Second set, Vaughn to serve.
Vaughn is serving to start us off. That's a great thing about breaking at the end of the first set. You get to start the second set off. First serve. Forehand by Godoy floats wide. 15 love for Vaughn.
Right, 15 all. 15 love.
Vaughn has done a really good job of energizing himself and cutting down on his unforced errors. He had way too many the first 3 games. He's fixed that. Backhand, two-handed backhand error by Godoy. And the great thing about starting off the first set, since you're serving, you get to pretty much dictate what's happening. Right now, Mason Vaughn is up 30 love, first game of the second set. Beautiful inside-out forehand down the line by Vaughn. Triple game point to start it off. His momentum continues. That was probably the biggest forehand he's hit all match. Right in the corner. Nothing Godoy could do. 40 love, Vaughn, first game of the second set. Vaughn's backhand floats over the baseline. Still up 40-15, 2 game points. Wants to put even more pressure on Godoy by winning this first game. He won the last 3 games of the first set. Wants to continue that momentum to start the second set. 2 game points, 40-15. Forehand by Vaughn floats wide. Big forehand down the sideline by Godoy caused the error. Still a game point for Vaughn. 40-30. First service deep. Godoy is stepping inside of the baseline to try and intimidate Vaughn. Backhand by Vaughn floats over the baseline. We're back to deuce. Big inside out down the line forehand by Godoy draws the error from Vaughn, and all of a sudden, after being down triple game point, he's looking at a break point. Huge opportunity right here for Godoy. This break would reestablish the momentum of the set. Oh man, his backhand floats long on the return. The intent was there, the execution was not. We're back to deuce. Forehand catches the top of the tape on the return by Godoy. Really good serve in the corner. It's close to being a fault, but it stayed in. Game point for Vaughn. First game of the second set. Big forehand cross court by Vaughn. Draws the error from Godoy. Vaughn wins the first game of the second set. We'll be back with more action in a minute. Back on center court where Sebastian Godoy has to try to reestablish some momentum. Had his chances the last game to break back. Mason Vaughn was unsuccessful. Now down 0-1, he's serving. Big forehand by Godoy, that's his weapon.
15 love.
He needs more of that. 15 love. I think right here from where I'm sitting, Godoy needs more energy. He needs to step it up on his forehand. That's his weapon. It's been countered by Vaughn, who has kept the ball to his backhand, his weaker shot. And then Vaughn has stepped in to rip his forehand after about 3 or 4 balls. Great strategies, paid off so far. Godoy is serving. Second game of the second set. 15 love. Drop shot attempt by Vaughn falls well short. 30 love for Godoy. Beautiful down the line forehand inside in by Vaughn. That's a shot of confidence right there because that was not what you would expect from that position. He rips it down the line for a winner. Godoy is still up 30-15. Second game of the second set. Vaughn is up 1-0. Won the first set 6-3, winning the last 3 games of the set. Let first serve. 30-15 for Godoy. Second serve. Shanked by Godoy goes wide. 30 all. The strategy that Vaughn has done, which I think has been a great strategy, he's kept the ball mostly to Godoy's backhand, but he's put spin on the ball to have it kick up. That's a ball that Godoy doesn't like nearly as well as when he can step in and rip it waist high. So he's kept the ball to his backhand. But he's also moved Godoy from side to side, and when he's gone strong to the forehand, it's caused Godoy some trouble. 30 all. Forehand is out again by Godoy.
30-40.
Break point for Vaughn. Could push his lead to 2-love here in the second set. A lot of frustration coming from the far end of the court by Godoy. Making too many errors, unforced errors. And he's not being allowed to step in the middle of the court like he has in the past couple of matches to use that big forehand. Great save by Vaughn. Godoy hit a beautiful backhand down the line, and the great defense of Vaughn pushed the ball back up in the air, causing an error from Godoy. Vaughn gets the break. He's up 2-0 here in the second set. First set is in his pocket, 6-3. You can really tell that the energy and the footwork and the great movement is on this side of the net. That's where Mason Vaughn is. He's got the momentum. Now he's trying to push his second set lead up to 3-0. Forehand down the line by Vaughn is long, love 15.
Go sub. Right here, man.
Service wide. Second serve. Double fault by Vaughn.
30.
Decelerated on the contact of the ball. Ball catches the top of the tape. double fault. Love 30. Forehand error to the net. Vaughn
Go sub right here, man.
giving Godoy triple break points. He needs to convert here, Godoy. That would get us back on serve here in the second set. He's down 0-2. Ball is over the baseline by Godoy. Still up 2 break points here in the second set. Really good play by Vaughn. He took a short ball, went inside out, wide. The return by Godoy was well over the baseline. Well, not well over the baseline, but over the baseline. Still down 2 break points.
Go right here, sub right.
Oh, sweet roll of the forehand by Vaughn after a really good approach shot by Godoy off of a drop shot from Vaughn. Vaughn went to the right, used his service box to roll the ball cross court. Did not try to overhit it. Still down a break point, 30-40. Super forehand running winner by Godoy. He gets the break.
Go sub.
We're back on serve.
Game, good day.
1-2. More when we come back.
2 games to 1, second set. And 1 set to love. Time.
We're in the second set of the boys 14s singles final. Mason Vaughn from Austin, Texas, is up 2-1 in the second set. We're on serve. He's playing against Sebastian Godoy from Houston, Texas. Vaughn won the first set 6-3, winning the final 3 games. Godoy is serving now to even us up at 2-all. Let's see what he can do. Oh, terrific eyeball-to-eyeball play at the net. Great hands, and in the end, Vaughn's hands are a little bit better. Pushes the ball beyond Godoy at the net. Love 15. Great down the line forehand by Vaughn. Love 30, Godoy serving. Really sweet return, out of the reach of Godoy. A clean winner.
Go, Seb, right here, man. Let's go.
Big forehand off the line by Godoy.
Let's go.
He needed that one. Still down 15-30. Second serve. Another attempt down the line by Vaughn goes wide. Back to 30-all. Forehand by
30-40.
Godoy floats wide, just wide. Giving Vaughn a break point again. 30-40. He'd love to get that break right back that he gave up the last service game.
Seb, right here, man. Let's go.
Game point for Vaughn. Oh, backhand over the baseline by Vaughn. Floats long.
Come on, man.
Big lost opportunity. He was in control of the point until he made the error. Back to deuce. Oh, big forehand down the line by Godoy. That's what we normally see from him.
Post heavy right
Not
here.
nearly as often in this match because of the defense and strategy of his opponent,
So
Mason
big, bro.
Vaughn. But he does have game point. Big serve is deep. Second serve. Down the line, backhand by Godoy is good, right on the mark. He wins the game. We're tied at 2-2 here in the second set. Big game for Godoy, that last one. Had some break points against him, and he stood tall, stood firm, had to hit some big shots, and he did. Vaughn continues to pepper the backhand of Godoy, the weaker of his two shots compared to his forehand. That's a play that he has consistently put into play during this match. He hasn't given Godoy the short balls that we've seen him take advantage of throughout this tournament. Beautiful inside out forehand for the winner after a huge down the line forehand. Set up the easy shot. 30 love for Vaughn. Playing a very smart match. Using great strategy. His placement has been really, really good. He's kept Godoy out of his comfort zone. Hasn't allowed him to step forward through the ball as he likes. 30 love. Two-hand backhand by Godoy floats well wide. Now, the one thing in my estimation that Godoy has not taken advantage of is the serve of Vaughn. Vaughn does not have a big serve. And to me, where he could really do some damage is stepping inside the baseline and punishing the second serve to the open court, immediately putting Vaughn on the run. He has not done that enough. And to me, that's been a big reason why Vaughn is in the lead right now. $40 love. Triple game point. Forehand by Godoy floats over the baseline. Game for Vaughn.
Goes heavy.
Vaughn leads 3 games to 2.
He edges ahead 3-2 in the second set. We're on serve. Vaughn won the first set 6-3. More action when we come back.
Time.
It's the finals of the USTA Boys 14s Level 1 National Clay Court Championships. I'm your host, Tony Whitehurst, joining you live from the Westgate Tennis Center. We're in Dothan, Alabama. Very good match so far. Right now, we're on serve 2-3. Sebastian Godoy in the far court. Blue hat, he's going to try to even this second set up. He lost the first 6-3.
Go, Texas.
Mason Vaughn has used some really good strategy to put himself in the winning position. Godoy to serve. Forehand by Godoy floats wide, cross court. That's a shot he hasn't missed that much this week, but right now, it's not doing him a whole lot of good. Too many unforced errors on that shot. That's his big weapon. And if he's not clicking on that one, he's in trouble. Love 15.
All.
Ball is called in. Love 30.
Correction, love 30.
Godoy thought that ball was going to float over the baseline. The baseline official put 2 hands down, meaning the ball was in. Godoy knows it. He's down love 30. Love 40. Triple break point for Vaughn. What Vaughn has done extremely well is he's kept the pressure on Godoy. He's kept him out of his comfort zone, which is a ball down the middle of the court that's sitting up that he could drive on. He has not gotten a lot of those. Vaughn has kept the ball to his backhand up high, and he's kept him on the move, which means he has not been comfortable when striking the ball. Triple break point to go up 4-2 in the second set in favor of Vaughn. Second serve. Both players discuss the mark with the service line official. Vaughn shows the mark. It's out. Second serve. Inside out forehand for the winner by Vaughn. He's now up 4-2 in the second set. 2 games away from claiming a gold ball. And this prestigious title. Big points, gold ball, in the eye of Division I coaches. Vaughn is up 4-2. He continues to keep the ball out of the strike zone of Godoy, which is why he's ahead. First serve. Shanked by Godoy goes wide, 15 love. Beautiful down the line shot by Godoy draws the error from Vaughn.
15 all.
Vaughn is up 30-15 here in the second set. He's up a break 4-2, 2 games away from this title here at the Westgate Tennis Center. We'll see if Godoy can rally. Second serve. Beautiful drop shot by Godoy.
15-30.
He's up 15-30. Big overhead by Vaughn. Drop shot at the net brought Godoy in. Could not get the attempted lob over his head. Vaughn puts it away. 30 all. Forehand volley by Godoy is pushed wide. 40-30 game point for Vaughn, which would put him 1 game away from winning this title. Let first serve. Second serve. Backhand over the baseline by Vaughn brings us back even. Deuce game. Attempted overhead from a loft by Vaughn goes wide for Godoy. Game point once again. Forehand by Godoy flies over the baseline. Game for Vaughn. He's now up 5 games to 2 in the second set with the first set already in his pocket. He's 1 game away from winning the clay court championships here at the Westgate Tennis Center. More action when we return.
Time.
Back at the Westgate Tennis Center, where it is now or never for Sebastian Godoy. He's down 2 games to 5 in the second set after losing the first set 6-3. He's got to hold serves to stay in the match. Mason Vaughn, on the other hand, is up 5-2. Since about the middle of the first set, his strategy and energy and footwork have all paid off.
Go, Texas.
2-5. Aggressive play by Godoy paid off. Attempted cross-court shot was not returned by Vaughn, who made a good attempt himself. Ball catches the net, 15-love for Godoy. He's got to have this game. He's down 2-5 in the second set after losing the first. Forehand by Vaughn floats wide. 30-love for Godoy. Second serve. Backhand by Godoy floats over the baseline. Still up 30-15 in this game. Down 2-5. He needs this one to stay in the match and the set. If not, it's all over. Forehand to the corner is in. 40-15 for Godoy. 2 game points to bring the set to 5-3. And ask the question of Vaughn. Can you serve it out? $40-15. Second serve. Nope, the ball was called out.
40-30.
40-30. Still a game point to bring the set within 2 games. 3-5. Got to have this one. Game point. Second serve.
So big.
Down the line, forehand by Godoy wins the game.
5 games to 2. 5 games to 3. Second set.
We're now at 5-3 in the second set. Can Mason Vaughn serve it out? We're about to find out. He's up 5-3 with the title on the line in his hands. Here we go. Miss-hit ground stroke forehand by Godoy stays in. Hey, and at this point, he'll take any kind of luck he can get. Hit a shank, but it stayed in. Love 15. Second serve. Forehand by Vaughn floats wide. It's down love 30. It is not easy. Trying to serve a match out is probably the hardest thing a player has to do, and it's not easy. Feeling a little bit of the pressure is love 30. Second serve. Great forehands down the line by Godoy. He now has 3 breakback points to put this second set back in order, back on serve. Mason Vaughn is obviously feeling a little bit of the pressure. First serves have abandoned him in this game. Love 40. Double fault by Vaughn.
Godoy.
We're back even.
Ball leads 5-4, second set.
Sebastian
Second love.
Godoy has rallied down from 2-5,
Go, Seb, right here.
but he still has to hold to stay in this match. Can he? We'll find out when we come back.
Yeah. Time.
Back at the Westgate Tennis Center, I'm your host, Tony Whitehurst. It's day 8 of the USTA Boys 14s Level 1 National Clay Court Championships. It's the boys' final. And right now, Sebastian Godoy once again is trying to stay in the match. He's serving at 4-5 in the second set after losing the first. Backhand by Vaughn floats over the baseline. 15 love for Godoy. Oh, sweet cross-court shot by Godoy.
30 love.
30 love. A pretty good drop shot by Mason Vaughn. But the athleticism of Godoy came through, showed up. Pushes the ball cross-court. He's up 30 love, 2 points away from evening things up here in the second set at 5-all. He was once down 5-2. And looking at going home, now he's trying to extend the set. 30 love. Forehand by Vaughn sails again over the baseline. Triple game point for Godoy. Serving it 4-5. Two-handed backhand into the net by Vaughn ties us up.
5 games all, second set.
Back at 5 all here in the second set. We're tied again. Great rally from Godoy. He dug deep. Was down 5-2. Now it's at 5 all. Now Mason Vaughn has to stop the run and reestablish momentum if he can. Here we go. Big overhead by Vaughn. 15 love. He wants to stop the bleeding. He's lost 3 games in a row. Served for it twice. Could not put it away.
Texas.
Beautiful play by Vaughn. Big forehand cross court by Godoy. Drop shot from Vaughn. Pushes it over the net. .30 love. Forehand into the net by Vaughn off of a big forehand by Godoy, cross court. No answer, but he's still up 30-15. We're at 5 all here in the second set. Vaughn once led 5-2 in the second set, a game away from a USTA clay court national championship. We're back at 5 all. He's up 30-15. Between the shot leg by Vaughn sails along. Went between the legs to try to hit it back in. I'm not sure if he was going for a winner, but maybe he felt that was all he had. So between the leg. Oh, beautiful down the line. Passing shot by Godoy.
30-40.
Vaughn did not cover the line. His approach shot was there. As they say in tennis, if you go down the line, cover the line. .30-40. Break point. Huge. Ball stays in for Godoy. He gets the break.
Game, Godoy. Godoy leads
He'll now
6-5,
serve for the second set after being
North
down
Ball.
5-2. We'll see what happens when we come back.
Time.
Sebastian Godoy from Houston, Texas, is now serving for the second set after being down 5-2. What a turnaround. Can he close it out? Here we go. Down the line overhead by Vaughn stays in. Love 15. Of course, he wants to break back to take this to a second set tiebreak. He's got work to do. He's been reeling the last 4 games. Was a game away at 5-2 in the second set and has lost 4 games in a row. Now he's trying to stop the bleeding. Godoy is trying to put it away and take it to a third set. Big serve down the middle. Service winner for Godoy. 15 all. Ball is called wide on the serve. Return by Vaughn is over the baseline. A really bad error. It's 15 all. You need a break here to stay in the second set. And that's a bad unforced error. 30-15 for Godoy, 2 points away from winning this second set. Backhand into the net brings Sebastian Godoy to 2 set points. and has Mason Vaughn wondering, where has it all gone? The lead, the 5-2 lead. All of a sudden, he's struggling. Godoy is a point away from evening up this match that Vaughn had in the bag. 40-15. 2 set points.
Let's go, Seb.
Backhand over the baseline by Vaughn gives a set to Godoy. We split sets.
Godoy.
We have a 10-minute
7 games
recess.
to 5. Gentlemen, you
Then
get a
we'll
10-minute
start
break.
the
You're allowed
final
to
set
coach. You can leave the court. Do not
here at the Westgate Tennis
coming
Center
back.
for the gold ball. I'm your host, Tony Whitehurst. We'll have more after the break.
Yeah, I can do that. I need a 10-minute break. yeah, I'm gonna get down and go inside. Thank you for offering. Hey, you doing good. You're doing good. Well, yeah.
Back at the Westgate Tennis Center, I'm your host, Tony Whitehurst. An amazing turnaround in the second set. Sebastian Godoy was one game away from being out of here. He turned the momentum around, won 5 straight games. We're starting the final set. Mason Vaughn needs a good start. Backhand by Godoy sails over the baseline. 15 love for Vaughn. Backhand down the middle of the court by Vaughn, flies over the baseline, 15-all. Big forehand down the line by Vaughn. 30-15 now. He has to get back to the rhythm that he had before, 5-2 in the second set. He was using his forehand quite well, keeping the ball out of the strike zone of Godoy. That's all changed. And now the first game of the final set, I don't think he can afford to go down a break. Psychologically, I think that will do him in, even though it's early.
Oh yeah, Seb.
Big overhead by Godoy brings us back to 30-all. As far as Mason Vaughn is concerned, there's a hole in the boat and there's a lot of water coming in. He has to plug it up. 30-all. Great point by both players. In the end, Vaughn wins the point, and he's looking at game point, the first game of the final set. He has to have it. He has really been struggling since being up 5-2. In the second set, he lost 5 straight games. First game of the final set, game point. Beautiful forehand cross court by Vaughn. Stops a 5-game run by Godoy. First game of the final set goes to Vaughn. More when we come back. Now, Sebastian Godoy will try to even things up here in the final set. His first service game of the final set. He's down 0-1. I love the play by Vaughn. The ball goes over the baseline, but he took the second serve, ripped it down the line, and came in for a volley. Backhand was just over the baseline. And what that does, it gives Godoy something to think about, saying, hey, if I don't get that second serve where I want it, he could take it, rip it, and attack, and come to the net for an easy volley, so I have to be aware. Just putting something in Godoy's mind. Godoy is up 15-love. Second game of this final set. Beautiful approach shot down the line by Godoy. 30-love. Second serve. Shank forehand by Godoy goes wide. Good pressure from Vaughn. Went down the line with a two-handed backhand. Ball came close to the baseline. Godoy tried to hit a passing shot, shanked the forehand wide, but he's still up 30-15 here in the final set. In his service game, it's down 0-1. Big serve. Ace. We haven't seen too many of those. 2 game points for Godoy to pull us even here in the final set. He's down 0-1. Forehand down the line by Vaughn. Floats deep. We're tied at 1-1 in the final set. Great defense by Vaughn, but just too many forehands by Godoy. We're tied at 1-1. Play has picked up, which is exactly what you want in a final set. It's for the boys 14's championship. Level 1. 60 of the top 100 nationally ranked players have been in here in Dothan since last Sunday, fighting it out on the clay of the Westgate Tennis Center. I'm your host, Tony Whitehurst, coming to you live. We brought the action. 1-1. Down the line forehand by Godoy stays wide. 15-love for Vaughn. Huge forehand on the return by Godoy.
15 all.
15 all. Great return. Deep and in the corner. Vaughn tried to dig it out but could not. Big down the line forehand inside in by Vaughn. Vaughn is trying to get back on top of this match. Forehand down the line
40-15.
by Godoy catches the top of the tape. 2 game points for Vaughn to go ahead 2-1 here in the final set. Beautiful play by Vaughn.
James Vaughn. Vaughn leads 2 games.
He wins the game and is now up 2-1 in the final set. He's put the tractor back on the road, I tell you. He was really struggling after losing the second set, and I do think the 10-minute mandatory break for players helped him regroup. He's now up 2-1 in the second set. And I see where Carlos Alcaraz has put a second Wimbledon title in his corner, in his pocket. He just beat Novak Djokovic 6-2, 6-2, 7-6, and a third set tiebreak. Congratulations to Alcaraz, and he's a terrific player, and is going to be a historical player if he can stay healthy. He won the French Open title and has now just claimed the Wimbledon title for the second year in a row, and he beat Novak Djokovic in the finals for the second year in a row. Congratulations to the Spaniard, who is, he's a heck of a player. A player that both of these players here, they emulate and look up to as a role model for parts of his game that they've tried to copy. All right, we're back at the Westgate Tennis Center, boys finals, 14s. Sebastian Godoy, who is serving, is down 1-2. Serving to Mason Vaughn. Final set. Sweet play by Vaughn. Used the angled ball and then the lob to try and go over Godoy's head. Godoy couldn't quite get to it. He's down love 15. Smart play by Vaughn.
30.
He hit the ball at Godoy to keep him where he was. Hit an initial lob that Godoy shanked. That gave Vaughn options. An easy roller cross court for the point. Vaughn is trying to turn things around after losing that second set. Godoy is trying to even us up.
Flat. First service.
Chair official Rick Bewley is going down to inspect the mark. He's calling the ball in.
Got that one. Go, baby.
Overruling the service line official.
$15.30.
Ball by Godoy is wide. 15-40. 2 break points for Vaughn to get on top in this final set. That one was wide. Double break point for Vaughn.
$15.40.
Godoy is trying to stay in this game to get back to even. 2 break points.
$30.40.
30-40. Ball is called deep by the baseline
Go,
official.
Seb. Go, ball right here, man.
Second serve. Forehand into the net by Godoy gives Vaughn the break.
Vaughn leads 3 games to 1. Final set.
He's now up 3 games to 1 in the final set. Can he push his lead to 4-1? We'll find out.
Come on, Grandpa. Come on. Find it.
Vaughn to serve. Chair official has called the serve out.
Yes.
Second serve. Backhand into the net by Godoy. 15 love for Vaughn.
Come on, right here, sir. Let's go. Find it, puppy. Come on.
Oh, beautiful drop shot by Godoy. Off some pretty sturdy play by Vaughn. Godoy took the advantage that Vaughn had and flipped it. Beautiful play.
Duration, baby. Let's go. Dale, papi.
Come on, mi amor. Come on, mi cielo.
That's what you need.
Big passing shot by Godoy.
Too big. Let's go.
15-30.
15-30. I thought Vaughn was going to go down the line with the forehand, but he decided to chip the ball and coming to the net. Passing shot by Godoy was too much. 15-30. Backhand by Godoy catches the net. 30 all.
Exciting, puppy.
Play, baby. Let's go. Go, Coco.
Backhand by Vaughn. Flies over the baseline. He did not have his feet up under him. He reached instead of stepping through the ball.
Go, Coco.
That's an
Right
error
here.
that's cost him. He's now looking at break point, which would get us back even here in the final set. Shank forehand by Vaughn
Here, love, sir. Right here.
gives Godoy
Go, Coco. Right here,
Vaughn
man.
leads
the game.
5-2, final set.
We're back on serve 2-3. Godoy serves when we come back.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Work out anyway. Time?
Back on center court where Sebastian Godoy just got us back on serve after breaking Mason Vaughn, who had broken him the previous game. 2-3 in the final set. We split sets. Vaughn winning the first, Godoy rallying to win the second, 7-5, winning the last 5 games of the set. 2-3. Here we go. Ball is wide,
Great point.
off the racket of Vaughn.
15 love.
Two-hander catches the top of the tape, lands outside the singles line. 15 love for Godoy. Serving to even it up. Here at 3-all.
That's huge.
Big forehand down the line by Vaughn for the winner. 15-all. That's a big shot. He needs a few more of those if he's going to pull this out.
That's amazing.
Beautiful drop shot
30.
by Godoy.
Go, Papa. Go, Seb.
He edges ahead, 30-15. He's serving.
Go, go, go. Hey.
Beautiful inside-out forehand
40, 15.
by Godoy. 2 game points to bring us to 3-all if he can convert. Second serve. Second serve ace gives Godoy the game.
Right here,
Godoy.
Seb.
We're tied at 3-all. Final
3
set.
ball, final set.
The USTA Boys 14s, Level 1 National Clay Court Championships. We started out with 193 in singles, and now we're down to 2. And the final set. Mason Vaughn is trying to go up 4-3. He's got the ball in his hands. Here we go. Forehand into the net. Cross-court attempt by Godoy falls short. 15 love for Vaughn. It's getting tight. It's 3-all. The old 7th game, as they like to say, which many claim is so important. They're all important in my estimation. 15 love for Vaughn. Ball is called deep by the baseline official.
Go, Seb.
30 love.
30 love Vaughn. 2 points away from going up 4-3 here in the final set. Second serve. Beautiful down the line forehand by Godoy.
Hey, Bobby.
Forehand into the net
40-15.
by Godoy. Gives Vaughn a 40-15 lead.
Come on, puppy.
Backhand attempt by Godoy floats wide. Game to Vaughn. He now leads 4-3 in the final set of the USTA Boys 14s Level 1 National Clay Court Championships. I'm your host, Tony Whitehurst. We'll have more after the break.
Time?
Come on, boys, come on.
Back on center court where Sebastian Godoy is trying to serve his way back to a 4-all set here at the Westgate Tennis Center. They split the first two. It's the final set. And right now, Mason Vaughn is up 4-3. Godoy to serve. Second serve. Forehand by Godoy flies wide.
Okay, Val, come on.
Love 15. First point of the 8th game. Godoy wants to hold here. Doesn't want to go down 5-3. It was down 5-2 in the second set and ran all 5 straight games to win the set. Don't want to put yourself in that position again. Love 15. Second serve. Big forehand down the line by Godoy. On that particular play, Vaughn kept the ball in the middle of the court too long. It was sitting up, which allowed Godoy to step in and rip down the line on an inside-in forehand for the winner. 15 all. Forehand by Vaughn floats long and wide. 30-15. I think Vaughn has to really be careful of not moving that ball as he did when he was up a set in 5-2. He moved the ball from side to side, put air under the ball when he hit it to Godoy's backhand. When he leaves it short, he pays. 30-15. Second serve. Volley attempt by Godoy goes well wide. 30 all.
Bobby, amazing. Let's go, Seth.
40-30.
40-30.
Go, foul.
Game point for Godoy. Forehand by Godoy sails wide. And Vaughn knows he's lucky on that one. He's looking to the heavens. He left that volley sitting up way too high and too long. The athletic Godoy barely missed. With the forehand, it went wide. We're back to deuce. Second serve. Forehand into the net by Godoy. Gives Vaughn break point. He's already up 4-3. If he can convert this break point, he will once again serve for the match. Tried it in the second set. Failed miserably. Lost the second set. 5 straight games by Godoy did him in. Break point for Vaughn. Forehand by Godoy floats wide. Gives Vaughn the game.
Vaughn leads 5 games to 3. Final set.
He's up 5-3. But of course, the big question is, can he close it out? Could not do it in the second set. He gets another chance. Let's see what happens. He's trying to stay loose on the other end is Vaughn. 5-3, serving for the gold ball once again. Forehand volley by Godoy goes wide. I love the play. Had a down the line approach, came into the net. Just barely missed the volley, pushing it wide. Vaughn is 3 points away from claiming the title. USTA Boys 14s Level 1 National Clay Court Championships. We're coming to you live from the Westgate Tennis Center in Dothan, Alabama. I'm your host, Tony Whitehurst. 15 love for Vaughn. Oh, beautiful approach down the line by Vaughn. Sticks the volley. 30 love. This time he's trying to be a lot more aggressive than he did the second set when he lost the big lead. Still 2 points away. It's not over. We'll see what Godoy can do. 30 love for Vaughn, 2 points away. Beautiful swinging forehand cross-court winner for Vaughn, giving him 3 match points. Triple match point for Mason Vaughn. Can he close it out? In this game in particular, he has gotten his first serves in. Has taken the pressure off his second serves. Triple match point. Game, set, and match for Mason Vaughn. He wins 6-3, 5-7, 6-3. A tremendous event by both players. Wonderful tournament for both. Great sportsmanship. Very competitive match from 2 of Texas' best. Mason Vaughn wins the match, the gold ball, and the USTA Boys 14s Level 1 National Championship. Here in Dothan, Alabama, congratulations to him and to Sebastian Godoy for a great showing. I'm Tony Whitehurst. It has been a pleasure. We'll get an interview with Mason Vaughn, the winner and the champion, to close out this show. Thanks for joining us. Back in a minute. Talking to Mason Vaughn, man, that was a heck of a match.
Yeah.
Talk about in the end what happened.
I went for my shots more, I think, when it mattered. I got a bit lucky the last 2 games.
Second set, up 5-2. What happened there?
I got tight. I stopped swinging. He started swinging way more, no pressure, and he got those 4 games in like a second.
Seemed to me, though, your all-around game is what kept you there and what got you the lead. Is that correct? What do you think?
Yeah, exactly. I think the biggest point of the match, I think it was 4-3, 30 all. I came in, I punched a volley off the other side of the court, and I hadn't done that as much, but I think just the ability of having to do that.
So we get the doubles and the singles. Two gold balls. You didn't have one before. Now you have 2. How you feel?
Feel awesome. It's amazing.
Yeah, man, you did a really great job. Love your game. So what does this do for you confidence-wise?
I mean, I do have a lot of confidence, but it definitely proved to me that I'm one of the best players in the country, and I can do anything if I can swing.
Hey, man, that's the way to go. Coach Joe, you sat on the sideline. You were as nervous as the parents were.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts about the match?
I mean, first credit to Seb, of course. I mean, he's got a great support team, obviously a really, really good player, and definitely deserved to be there. You know, he showed the fight, showed the heart in the second set when Mace got a little bit tight. But, you know, I knew that at the end of the day, if Mason executed his game, if he was swinging out on the ball, playing free, playing loose, then I was going to like his chances because I knew he's going to dig in and fight to the last ball. So with those 2 things in mind, you know, felt, you know, a little nervous, but definitely confident through and through.
Well, it obviously proves that the work that you guys have been putting in is paying off. Is that a good thing to say?
Without a doubt. I mean, this kid works as hard as any out there, and obviously showed in the results this tournament. You know, just a product of the work he's put in on the practice court day in, day out.
And your thoughts on the hard work you're putting in, because you don't just walk up and get a gold ball and get to a final like this. Your thoughts?
I mean, I've been getting up at 5 a.m. every morning. I have 6 a.m. practice, and every time I get 6 a.m., I'm like, I want that gold at Clay's. I want that gold.
All right, well, now you got 2.
Now I got 2.
All right, man. Hey, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Grand champion here. Way to go. Coach Joe,
Thanks.
great job. Hey, takes a village.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So,
He's
hey,
got a
man.
great team behind him.
Absolutely. You guys take care, man. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
talking to us. We'll see you guys next time, okay?
Will do. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Sure, man.